previously did a video on how to do chain attacks early in the game when you first have access to them. I thought it would be nice to do a video, well, I wanted to fight this enemy, and having fought it, I was trying to decide what to use the footage for. So I thought it would be nice to do a video showing what you can do with chain attacks in the post-game. So this enemy that I'm fighting is a level 95 unique that some people have difficulty with. I've made one really stupid mistake here. If you ever fight it, don't run behind it. Going behind it makes it use a one-hit KO attack, which that is going to set me back quite a while, because he killed me, Morag ran across, he turned around to face Morag, and now that's left Zeke behind him, and he's about to one-shot Zeke as a result. Morag went down through bad luck there. Anyway, you'll notice I'm I'm level 67, 66 and 66, he's level 95. I haven't tried doing a solo kill on this thing, it might be possible. I thought I'd just do a fight the way the game tells you to fight type kill. You won't see me using break, topple, launch or smash in this video. The reason for that is that even with a resistance reducing item called, I think it's called a beta scope, when he's just such a higher level than me, I cannot break him. His break resistance is too high, so that whole mechanic is just not available to me with this level difference. If you're level 90, you can break him. You might be able to break him level 80 or so with a beta scope. I'm relying instead on well, the simple specials into chain specials, combos, and chain attacks, which is what I'll be showing. As for how to stay alive, Morag has incredibly high evasion. I've got 3 agility themed tanks on her. Percival, Igion and Bridget, all with pentagon chips, and then she's got a plus 30% agility item. I found that was necessary for this fight. In my previous video where I had her soloing Ophion, you didn't need nearly as much of agility, as she has, well, Bridget has a skill that's plus 90% evasion against ranged attacks, whereas this enemy does a lot of melee attacks as well as ranged, so that bonus isn't so useful. Right, there's a water orb on him. So that was, I did light water. Very easy to get light very fast. You might notice, well, I've maxed out Mithra's affinity chart. Whenever you critical with an art, it recharges the art immediately with Mithra maxed. And separate to that, oh, there we go. So I revived Zeke, and I got killed by doing it. That's still the sort of the aftermath of my mistake at the start of going behind him. And there Zeke goes down again. Anyway, separate to that fast recharge from the from Mithra's affinity, I've also put pouch items that make my arts and specials charge faster. My allies have, I think Morag has 2 charging arts, so her arts are up really fast. Zeke has a special charging item. He only has 1 pouch. I haven't looked hard enough for the pouch expansion items. And then Rex, I think, has 1 of each. One of my art charging ones is not just art charging, it's art charging and faster chain attack gorge filling. You might notice that my chain attack gorge goes up pretty fast. I think both Morag and Rex have that on. At this stage of the fight, I'm just relying on inbuilt evade to relying on Morag's evade and tanking, so that we're not the key focus of the enemy, and then Mithra gives a plus 50% evade bonus to everyone, max out her affinity, so that's keeping us alive as well. You may notice that Zeke is not using it at the moment, but he has Cassandra as one of his 3 blades. There's a tank blade. The reason for that is he was just dying all of the time before from AoE area effect attacks. and Cassandra just gave him the extra bit of survivability he seemed to need. Now, so you've got 2 DPS and 1 tank, and that just seemed a whole more practical. So here I switched to Pyra very quickly to do the level 3 special. I don't really want to be on Pyra because I've lost my plus 50% evasion bonus for the team by having her out, but I did want to do a level 3 fire special. I think I could have done it with Morag actually, and that might have been a mistake. Anyway, spamming these to refill light very quickly, and I've just done Earth to Fire, and I'm hoping that Zeke can do a level 3 Earth to get yet another orb on to the enemy. I don't think that's going to work. The reason that's not going to work is because I did Zeke did the level 1 Earth and I immediately had Morag do the level 2, and he can't quite charge it fast enough. He only has 1 pouch item, not 2, so his charges are slower than everybody else's. So what I should have done, which is what I'll now do, so now I'll be doing that attempt. So there's the level 1 Earth, and then I don't immediately use the level 2 from Morag. Instead I wait a while, let that bar trickle down. What I know is happening meanwhile is Zeke is recharging his special, having done the level 1. I want to give him time to be up to level 2 probably, so now I've run out of patience. Morag does the level 2, and now hopefully Zeke will have the level 3 very soon after. All the time continuing to spam attacks with Rex. I don't know if there's much point in it. I actually know there is, because I'm hitting cancel arts with him a lot. It's keeping party gauge fill. Our key thing for that is just if anyone goes down with a full party gauge, we can do revives and hopefully recover fairly quickly. Here I step back mostly just to try and see what orbs are around him, because I want to know how close I am to having something reasonable. To do a full burst, it does seem to depend on the enemy. It's 4 or 5 orbs it seems to take. More orbs does mean it does more damage. I'm not sure if it's always worth stacking all of them, and that's something that might bear some investigation. It might be better to do, even if it's not going to kill the enemy, it might be better to do a 4 or 5 orb full burst, and then do another smaller chain attack afterwards, rather than trying to do sort of 6, 7 or 8 orb straight away. So each level 3 blade combo you get to puts an orb on, as long as there isn't already an orb of that element. If you're new to this, that's a key thing that you have to learn to try and do, is try and vary which level 3 specials, or which elements of level 3 specials you're doing. Takes a little bit of practice. Unfortunately, the only way to see them, you have to remember them, or just keep looking up and trying to spot which ones are spinning around the thing, which isn't always the easiest. So you see me flick the camera up and try and see them. Anyway, so here I knew I was close, so I've activated Pyra's power-up mode to bring in, well, basically she can be any element in her power-up mode, and I just wanted to add 1 more element, so I've done that to do that, and then start the chain. So this got 6 orbs on, is what I did. My setup isn't perfect, and I think it would be quite... I could have got an ice on. I didn't get an ice on, even though I could have done. Anyway, yeah, I don't think I could do... I'm trying to think what's the other one I'm missing other than ice. There's no electric on there. There really could have been electric. Okay, with the setup I've got, I could do all 8. I just didn't. Anyway, Pyro in her power-up mode hits all of the orbs, and then if you use, if you use an element that's the opposite to one of the ones that's up, it automatically targets it and does double damage to it. You need to do 3 points of damage to an orb to break it. If you use an element that's not the same as one of the ones that's up, it seems to pick a random orb to hit and do 1 point of damage to it. Whereas Pyro just always does 1 point to everything. Anyway, the full burst then kicks in, because the little bar in the top corner filled. you get a couple of QTEs, and I didn't spam the B button fast enough here. I'm not sure why I didn't. So I only got a cool, not an excellent. So might have done more damage if I'd spam B faster. Anyway, 5.3 million there, or 538, so close to 5.4, which wasn't quite enough to kill it. At this point I was sort of slightly nervous. What do I do now? I've used up my power-up mode, but I can carry on. I was evading for a while, I can keep evading. It's possible to do damage without the power-up mode, and so there's the first orb on again. It does start to feel a little bit repetitive, drawn out and long once you've seen several of these level 3 combo animations in a fight. Which is why I guess it's good that people have started coming up with other ways to fight. Though the way I soloed Opian with Morag is not a good alternative way of fighting, because that fight took 55 minutes, which is just horrendously tedious. Though I have since discovered some ways I could increase the damage. Anyway, going here at putting on a second orb. Oh, I didn't. I stopped and he was announcing Dino Flare, which is just a move that worries me. In a couple of attempts earlier it did one-shot my party. It probably wouldn't here because I'm at max affinity with Mithra, which means that I've all got plus 50% evade. But I think I decided let's just block that with the chain attack to avoid the risk. So just a one orb chain. It's not going to do loads of damage, but it can still do something. With the one orb chain you don't have to worry about which orbs you're hitting, because you're always going to break it, assuming you've got 3 party members alive. And I think I went for Wolfric here. Pandorica wasn't up. In fact, I should probably be defaulting to Wolfric with Zeke, because I think he's got the highest stats of my team at the moment. But yeah. Anyway, as soon as the chain's over, here's another orb. Because I was about to do a level 3 special before I started it. I think I'm going to put another, yeah. So I think I just have Zeke use a darkness special. So it's just a water orb on at the moment. And then, okay, darkness into light. And then I need a level 3 electric to finish it, which Zeke can provide, and hopefully has ready. I might have done that a little bit fast. He might not have it ready. I did spend a bit of time trying to do breaks and topples, but I just could not break him at all. So it was a waste of time. So there's the Dino Flare, which I mentioned can one-shot my party, and it just missed. This setup does seem a little bit overpowered. I've not farmed for any post-game equipment particularly. This is all stuff that... all stuff I've just found going through the game. I'm using. The pouch items are... well, I've gone out of the way to buy those, but they are bought from the shops. I'm not sure why I did the level 4 special there. I think I just felt like it. Or maybe it was because I knew that the combo was over. Because Zeke hadn't brought up his level 3 fast enough. Oh! Why have I done that? That was just a mistake. There's already a water orb on. Oh well. Does some damage. And I'm just working him down slowly here. Well, maybe there wasn't. Maybe... I don't know. Yeah, there was. So yeah, that was a mistake. But it's fine. So use fire to target the water and destroy it for guaranteed. Then there's no particularly good option here. Wolfric is a good stand-in. There's no element to prioritise. And then my Cassandra, I think this might be the first fight I've used her in on Zeke, so she probably had pretty rubbish stats. I haven't worked on her affinity chart. filling in the affinity chart does boost the blade's attack power as well as giving them the skills that you're unlocking. The only blade I've completed that I'm using in Mithra. Anyway, that's the kill. Nothing that exciting, but this is basically how the game teaches you how to fight, except for the game also teaches you to do break, topple, launch and smash, which just wasn't an option because I'm too low a level, as far as I can tell. You can't put 2 meter scopes on a person, so I'm not sure if there's anything else I could do. Anyway, hope this was fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.